Damn, I'm not exactly ready yet. Oh, I've got it. Just, look right here. So, as I was saying, movies that come in threes usually get subpar by the third one. Back to the Future 3 is, in my opinion, the weakest. Highlander 3 is not as bad as the second one, but it's not as good as the first. And Men in Black is no exception. I did enjoy Men in Black 3, don't get me wrong. It just wasn't as good as the first one. And that's what we're going to talk about on this episode of How to Fix It. If you don't know Men in Black, I'll pull you up to speed. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are agents J and K respectively. They are part of the organization known as Men in Black. They deal with the aliens that actually exist, and the reason we don't know about it is because they wipe our minds with devices called neuralizers. Like this one. K is a grizzled old agent, and in the first film, J was a rookie, but now they're on more equal ground. In 1969, K stopped an alien played by one half of Flight of the Conchords from destroying Earth, shot off his arm, and sent him to prison, and also deploying a shield to protect Earth from his species, which leads to this one, Boris the Animal, to be the last of his kind. Like Doctor Who, except totally evil. Men in Black has a new head agent since Rip Torn didn't want to come back for another sequel. Weird. He does Dodgeball, but not Men in Black 3? Jay wants to know more about Boris, but Agent O, the new head of Men in Black, tells him not to probe deeper. That night, as Jay talks with Kay on the phone, Kay vanishes out of existence. Jay goes to MIB HQ to figure out what happened, and learns that Agent K was killed in 1969 by Boris the Animal. For some reason, Jay can sense the change in the timeline and has a craving for chocolate milk, since that happens when you sense timeline changes. Wait a minute, does this mean the timeline has changed? Because I always craved chocolate milk. What timeline is the real one? This is the worst book that has ever been published in the history of the universe. Oh man, I have a headache. And I really want chocolate milk right now. Anyway, he travels back to the day before Kay was murdered and discovers that Boris went back in time to aid his past self. Jay tries to stop young Boris, but is captured by Kay, played by Josh Brolin, and is taken to be neuralized, which in the 60s was a big scary machine that spins around. But Jay convinces Kay he's from the future, and they go off to stop Boris, while meeting a fifth-dimensional being that has the Arcanet, while at a party thrown by MIB agent Andy Warhol, played by Bill Hader. The two Borises meet, and Jay and Kay head to Cape Canaveral to put the Arcanet on the Apollo 11 rocket. I tried to do that in Cape Canaveral once. I'm banned from the Kennedy Space Center now. They meet up with a colonel who agrees to help them, and they stop Boris the Animal and preserve the timeline, at the cost of the colonel's life. When the colonel's son shows up, Kay neuralizes him, and it's revealed that the colonel's son is Jay, and the reason that Jay never knew his father was because Kay had to stop him from having knowledge of the alien that killed him.
Your daddy is a hero.
My daddy is a hero?
It's weird and stupid, I know. But Jay returns to the future with a new respect for Kay, and the film ends. Well, I love time travel, so the premise was amazing. Also, the mode of time travel was very interesting. It's like Back to the Future where you need to hit a certain speed, but it's a downward speed, so you have to jump off a building. Makes you wonder if people that fall from tall buildings are failed time travelers. Also, the actors are great. Will Smith hadn't hit his After Earth mode yet.
Denied! Sit down!
And Tommy Lee Jones, while not appearing a whole lot in this, was the best part of the film. Jermaine Clement was also a believable villain, and it had the comedy that the first one had that the second film lacked. Especially the scene in Coney Island when cops in 1969 harassed Jay about a car.
And just because you see a black man driving in a nice car, does not mean it's stolen. I stole that one, but not because I'm black. I'm gonna be done with the car in a minute. Just find me to take it back to the jerk at the Roosevelt Hotel.
It was convoluted as shit. The time travel logic is all over the place and didn't make much sense. Also, it was released 10 years after Men in Black 2. That's a really long time to wait. Men in Black wasn't really relevant anymore. Don't get me wrong, I love Men in Black, but it'd probably have been better if it was made closer to the first two. I get it, technology has to meet talent, but it had been 10 years since Men in Black 2. Who was asking for Men in Black 3? And, I'm sorry, taking Tommy Lee Jones out of the action for most of it was kind of a part that hurt the film. Men in Black is at its most basic, the interaction between J and K. And don't get me wrong, Josh Brolin is great. He was in Goonies, and he's a great actor, but he's not Tommy Lee Jones. Well, the biggest thing is bring Tommy Lee Jones into a bigger role. I know the time travel was instigated by future K disappearing, but come on! Tommy Lee Jones is the best part about Men in Black. And make the plot less convoluted. Time travel in films works. I mean, look at Back to the Future and Bill and Ted. Even the Peter Cushing Doctor Who movies had less convoluted time travel than this film. And the film was really lacking in familiarity of stuff from the first two films. Little Agent K, no Agent Z, no Frank the Pug, although, as I understand it, his exclusion was out of respect, as the dog who portrayed Frank in the first two films had passed away, which could have been rectified if they hadn't waited 10 damn years to make this movie.
All right.
Men in Black 3 is a good movie, don't get me wrong. I loved it when I first saw it, but looking at it analytically, it falls flat compared to the first one. Although, it is much better than Men in Black 2, which we'll probably be looking at on this show at some point. But to do that, I'd have to watch it again, and I don't really want to do that. Men in Black 3 is on DVD, but unfortunately is not on Netflix Instant. Anyway, that's all there is to fix for this film, but there are plenty more works of media to fix. I'll see you next time.